Bismillah, alhamdulillah, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I greet you the beautiful greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sometimes our parents tell us things that we don't really like. For example, they tell us to go to pray, they tell us to do something more productive than what we're doing, right? And it sometimes gets under our skin. But we should always keep in mind that some people do not have parents to keep them well learned and to keep them smart and healthy like our parents do. In fact, some people have parents that are bad people, right? And inshallah, Allah forbid you having any parents like that, but 100% you guys have parents that are amazing parents and that are treating you the right way of Islam. And some people have parents like, for example, Abu Jahl, right? And Abu Jahl was a person that, as we all know, that is a person that really hated the Prophet, that threw trash on his back, that put thorns on his doorstep. When the Prophet used to come out, he used to step on those thorns, right? But you never ever expect anything like that from his son. And we actually do not know his son as much as we know his father. And his son's name is Akrima radiallahu anhu. And Akrima's story is a very interesting story. It's a story of change, and it's a story of how lucky you are to have parents that guide you and treat you well, because some parents don't do that, right? And people would not expect Abu Jahl to have a good son, right? People do not expect Abu Jahl's son, the kafir, to have a son that is a Muslim and follows Islam and dies in the way of Islam in a battle. And this battle that Akrima died in, this battle was called Ajnadain. But Abu Jahl died fighting the Muslims, and his son died fighting the Kafir, right? In Palestine. And we should all listen to this story very carefully, because this is a story of how you can change who you are. This is a story how you can be more grateful for your parents and more grateful for, when your parents tell you to do Quran and you're playing a game, you should be really grateful for that, because some people don't have that at all. So this is a story of change, and this is how Akrima radiallahu anhu became a Muslim. His story of becoming a Muslim starts in Mecca, right? Mecca was just conquered, and the Muslims had all of Mecca, and they had the town center, they had all the houses, and they even had the fortress. And Akrima decided to flee Mecca. And he couldn't even bear the sight of Muslims at that time. And he left and he went on a ship to Abyssinia to start a new life. And on the ship to Abyssinia, a big storm appeared, right? And it started really violently shaking the ship. And there's a very wise man on board on the ship that said, "Pray to the one exclusive God named Allah, or else none of the other gods will help you," i.e. the God will not save you, right? And Akrima thought, if Allah, this exclusive God, could, by the way, keep in mind that the kuffar, while they also believed, while some of them also believed Allah, they believed a pantheon of gods with him, which is called shirk. And what this wise man said, you have to pray exclusively to Allah, or nothing else will save you, or no other gods will save you. And Akrima thought that if I pray to this one exclusive God, and he saves me on sea, that means he must save me also on land. And he said, and he made a dua that if he reaches, Abyssinia safely and across the Red Sea safely, he will return to Mecca and go to the heel of the Prophet, and go and take the shahada in a very calm way. And he got to Abyssinia safely, and he came back, and he went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He took his shahada, and years later he died in the battle of Ajnadain in Palestine, in the way of Allah. And this really shows the story of change, of how he became a person. He actually fought in some wars against the Muslims in their early start, right? But he realized, and he came to the truth, and he came to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he really made a dua that changed the way of his life, and that changed the way of our life, and that should change the way of our life. If he can do that, that means we can too, okay? and he took his shahada, and he died, years later in the battle. And this really, really shows that you can change no matter how bad you are. If he can change after all that of his dad and all those years that his dad taught him to even kill those Muslims. At a time, he could not even bear the sight of the Muslims in Mecca, right? But he left, and he had a good intention on the ship, and that changed his life for the better, brothers and sisters. And that shows that if you change some things here and there, you don't have to go on a ship to Abyssinia and back and, take the Shahada. And you're already born in a Muslim household, right? And you're already born in a household that teaches you the right. And what you have to do, you have to accept it, and you have to follow what your parents tell you. This is it for today, brothers and sisters. Hope you guys loved this video. And inshallah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.